Welcome to PrepsNet Coach Speak with Corner Yellow Jackets head football coach Trent Campbell, powered by Campus Traditions. Here's your host, Aubrey Johnson.
Welcome to the first Corner Football Coach Speak for the 2025 season. Welcome in, Coach Campbell.
Thank you for having me.
All right, glad to be here. So tell us a little bit about this team. What is the makeup, would you say, of this team?
We're a little bit lighter on numbers than we've been in the past.
Okay.
And so it's a very senior-led team. We've got a great group of seniors. The upperclassmen are really what set us apart.
Right.
And there's going to be a few underclassmen that we need at certain times because we're not as deep as we've been in the past. But definitely a senior-led football team, which is really exciting. It's always what you want.
All right, good deal. So if you were to pick out a couple of three adjectives to describe this team and what you've seen so far, what would that be?
I would go with resilient first.
Nice.
And a lot of that goes back to last year, but resiliency is a big one. They're resilient. No nonsense.
Okay.
I don't know if that's an adjective, but
that's okay.
Yeah,
it
no
works.
nonsense is sort of how I feel about them too.
Sure.
I think there's a very professional approach that they take to things. They don't have to get themselves hyped up. They show up and they go to work. And it's
That's fantastic.
In my opinion, it's a sign of a very mature team. So mature would be another one.
Okay, fantastic. So who has shown up and kind of bubbled up as far as leaders on the team?
Honestly, there's so many to
list.
There's
a lot.
There's so many to list, and that is a blessing to struggle to give you definitive names. So like I'll just run some off. Rhett Kofer, senior H and inside linebacker for us.
Yep.
CJ, he's started for four. This will be his fourth year starting for us. CJ Brown, a 3-year starter at inside linebacker. He's going to play a little bit on offense this year also. Spencer Unruh, our running back that probably most people have heard of that have paid attention to us. He's a leader in the way that he works. He's just a hard worker, and they all are. But some are more vocal than others, and they lead in different ways. Tyson Hill, I think, is a guy that does most everything right. That's inside the school, outside the school. I've got, Andrew Rouse is a kid that's going to play on both sides of the line, offense and defense. And so he's definitely become a leader on the offensive line for us. Wyatt Wise is a big left tackle that we've got, and he's played for a few years now. And so his experience gives him a platform to be a leader for us. There's so many. There's so many.
Okay.
I could go on and on and on. Jacob Bell, I can't leave out Jacob. Jacob leads our defense in the secondary. He runs the show for us back there. Don't know what I would do without him.
Right. Excellent. So the position groups, tell us a little bit about them.
I'll start. I'm a defensive guy. I'll start on the defensive back end.
Yeah.
Our secondary is going to be very experienced. We've got a few kids back there that have largely participated in most of last season.
Right.
We've got another senior, Max Thomas, that's going to start at corner, and it'll be his first time starting, but he's crazy athletic, one of the most athletic kids on the team, and he's going to get his opportunity this year to show us what he can do. Our linebackers, probably on defense, our linebackers are going to be our most solid position group.
Right.
You got CJ and Rhett that are going to predominantly play in the middle, but Rhett's a guy that we could ask to do anything. And so he might end up outside some, inside some. We've got a young kid, Axel Dollar, that's a sophomore, who just looks like a version of Rhett and CJ from 2 years ago.
Right.
And so he fits in that mold, and we're expecting big things out of him. Defensive line, we've got a lot of experience there, but we've got a couple of kids that are unexperienced also, and there's a healthy mix there, but we're excited about them.
Good.
Like I said, we're not as deep, so we do have some kids that are going to play on both sides of the ball. But, I mean, we're going to get the best 11 on the field that gives us the best chance to win.
Okay.
So I feel comfortable defensively with where we're at. There's a lot of experience out there. We lost a few kids off last year's team.
Right.
But some of our most important players from last year are back. They're
Fantastic.
back on this team, and so that's exciting.
Nice.
Offensively, up front, I feel like we've been really big the last 2 years. And we haven't lost any of that size. We're just as big again. We keep reloading. We lost 4 seniors off of that team. on the offensive line, and so we've replaced them with 4 guys. I mentioned Andrew earlier.
Right.
Andrew's jumped in and taken on a leadership role in that group. He's one of the nicest kids in the world that you can meet in that school building.
Sure.
He participates in the band outside of football season. He's a golfer. He participates in all kinds of stuff. Just a great,
Right.
well-rounded kid. But when we go to practice, I mean, he's a bully.
Okay.
He loves football, and he does everything the right way, and I would say he's probably the leader of that offensive line group. But we're as big as we've been. I think we're as talented as we've been. I think you get us a game or 2 into the season, and this
Right.
offensive line will probably be better than
Yeah.
what we ended the season with last year. So
Wow.
we're really excited about the guys that are stepping up into those positions. At wide receiver, we're missing a few kids from last year's team
Sure.
that were really important at wide receiver, but we're going to throw the ball to Rhett. We're going to throw the ball to Tyson. We're going to throw the ball to a senior wide receiver, Gunnar Wright, who's going to get more of an opportunity this year than he's ever had in the past. And we got a few younger kids that we're excited about to get the ball to. At the quarterback position, we got Keaton Coffey back from last year. He was a
Right.
sophomore last year.
Okay.
And led this football program to the best season it's ever had.
That's fantastic.
And so to have him back with 13 games of 5A football under his belt, and ready to do it again as a junior, to know
Yeah.
that we've got him for 2 more years, we expect big things out of him, and hopefully he's continuing to develop and improve. At the running back position, it all starts with Spencer. I mean,
That's nice.
Spencer ran for over 2,000 yards last year. We've
Yes.
got him back for his senior year. He's as fit and ready to go as he's ever been. I think
great.
he's excited. I think there's a sense of urgency to
Right.
perform as well as he possibly can, because he wants to play at the next level.
Sure.
And those opportunities are going to come for him. He's a special athlete.
Okay.
Just natural ability, but that's not what sets him apart. His work ethic and how much he's put into this sport is almost unparalleled. It's incredible to see the type of dedication that a high school kid has had for this. And I can say the same thing about CJ. I can say the same thing about Tyson.
Sure.
Rhett. There's so many. It's a great senior class.
Good deal. So one thing we don't talk often enough is about the staff. So you've got a great head coaching staff, but turnover happens. Turnover, different coaches go different places. How is your staff stacked for this year, and did you have to replace some people?
We didn't have to replace anybody.
That's fantastic.
We got 100% of the staff is back. I've got it's either 12 or 13 men that are helping
Right.
me coach this football team. And a few of those are volunteers.
Right.
And the amount of production that we get out of guys that are showing up
Yeah.
just because they love the game and they love our kids is incredible. And I will forever be indebted to every single one of them. The staff that I have here on campus that also teach at the school, they're the same group that I inherited 2 years ago when I took over.
Right.
We've added one, but he was added last year to help us coach the offensive line, and he's doing a great job, great young kid. But they're such a great group of experienced coaches, it makes my job so easy, and I've been extremely blessed in that sense.
Well, and it's such a rarity to keep that group together
Oh, yeah.
for as long as you have.
Well, it's a testament to this community
Right.
and this school. That school across the road is the best place to work in the state of Alabama. I would
Gotcha.
argue anybody with it. We walk in and there's problems that other schools are having to deal with that we just don't have to worry about. And for folks that have been here forever, all those small problems,
Yeah.
they seem like big deals. But compared to some other places that I've been and some of the issues that they have to deal with in school, and even with the players, like
Right.
our roster, I rarely have to deal with discipline issues. Definitely
That's
not in the school.
fantastic. You gotta love that.
And that makes everything easier. It makes
it does.
It makes it a place that you don't dread coming to every single day. It's an
Right.
absolute joy to show up and work with these kids.
Good. So your first game is this Friday, 7 o'clock. You're up against Winfield. What do you expect to see from the Pirates?
Winfield's a tough team. They're going to be it's a tough community. It's a
Okay.
group of kids that are going to play hard.
Right.
Coach McKinney does a great job with him. He's I consider him a really good head coach in the state, and so I know that they're going to be ready, and
Right.
we know that they're going to hit us in the mouth from the beginning.
Gotcha.
And I think that's what their community expects from them. I think that's what their coaching staff expects from them, and I don't expect anything different. We're going to have to fight.
Right. Good deal. So this last question might be a little unfair, but I know confidence kind of reigns supreme right now, but if you could look out across the season, give us an honest assessment or prediction of where you think you'll be at the end.
So 12 months ago, let's go back to there. 12 months ago, if you had asked me that question, I would have said, if we're being completely honest, our goal is to, if we can somehow squeak into the playoffs.
Right.
We had moved up from 4 to 5A, and we were replacing a great senior class with what turned out to be another great senior class.
Right.
And so there were a whole lot of unknowns as to what we were going to get.
Sure.
The biggest question mark was the quarterback position, and Keaton took that over and played about as well as anybody could have hoped. So now, having had the success that we had last year, fast forward in that 12 months from now, I'm going to tell you that the expectation of our football team is to win every single game.
Sure.
And I know that sounds like a cliche answer, but it's encouraging to see where the program was and where it is now, and to see just the mentality and the approach. Like going into this game last year, I did not expect to beat Winfield.
Right.
I was ready to accept, that it was a team that was going to have to grow. The expectation our kids have is to win this football game. The expectation of our staff is to win this football game. And no matter what happens, we will move into the next week thinking the same exact thing.
That's
and
awesome.
So I'm really big on not going backwards.
Right.
And that's it's a very capitalistic view to have on things, like grow. Eventually,
Sure.
You might not achieve that. But if we don't focus so much on results and we focus on the growth of our individual players,
yes,
everything tends to take care of itself.
Right.
And so that's sort of the approach that I want to take. That's the approach I take with the kids. So we want to go win the region again.
Good.
Will we? I don't know. Who knows? You never know who's going to get hurt. You never know what other teams are going to show up with. I think we took some people by surprise last year, and that's not going to happen this year.
No.
And so
you kind of have a target on your back now.
Sure. And so I'm interested to see mentally how my kids wear that target.
Right.
Like if they embrace that, because what I would love to see is for them to embrace that target on their back, knowing that we're going to get everybody's best shot, especially everybody in our region. We're going to get their best shot every single week, and that's what we should want. That's what you want.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Good deal. So, Coach, that's our show. First one is in the books. Now, we're going to be doing this week in and week out, about every other week, actually. We've added some teams this year. We're not doing the weekly show that we've done before, but we're doing every other week. And we certainly look forward to seeing what your team does this year. We're excited for the players, and we look forward to it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, and certainly thank you for yours. Join us in a couple of weeks for another version of Coach Speak.